Hi, my name is Josie. I'm a youth librarian here at the City of West Torrens Hammer Centre Library. Today I'm going to be bringing you the Teen Book Taster. In this program we talk about 3 different books and that's the taste of them. Just a little bit to let you know what they're about. The 3 I've got for you today are on a range of issues, so let's get started. Are you ready? Great. Okay, the first one is something that's suitable for a bit of a younger teen and is actually found in our children's section. It's a book by Rosanne Hawke. She's a fantastic writer of historical fiction. She's from Adelaide, yay, and she has a really readable style, which in this book is a great way to give you a taste of life for the main character, Soraya, who is a refugee girl. She's aged 11 and she's been through a horrific time coming from Afghanistan, living life under the Taliban. So Soraya the Storyteller is the book by Rosanne Hawke and brought to us by Hachette. So thank you to Hachette for this one. This one was given an award by the Children's Book Council of Australia in 2005, shortlisted for the Book of the Year Awards. So it's been around a while, but it's definitely not dated. It's a really easy to read introduction into life for a refugee girl. It gives you a bit of a historical context with flashbacks to Soraya's life before in Afghanistan, but also talks about where she's at now with her life in Australia. Her mother, who has really sadly lost a daughter, her 2 twin boys and her husband while they were in Afghanistan, and then made the journey by boat to Australia, has been through so much and is really depressed. And Soraya has a really great coping mechanism. She is so strong and resilient. She uses storytelling and her imagination to help her to cope and to feel some happiness in her life. It is not a depressing story. It's insightful and it's not very graphic, so it's a very good starter on life for refugees and what they've been through. Let's have a look. This is where she's talking about her life before. It was grandfather who named me Soraya, for it means star in Persian. And of course, the poem cannot rhyme in English. My grandfather chose those words for the music they made in Persian. I was also named after a famous princess, so Pada always called me his princess. We lived in an apartment with my grandparents. My grandfather did not force grandmother and Moda to wear scarves. Not until the Taliban said they had to. Then, if you did not wear a scarf or a burqa, a woman could get beaten on the street, or worse. My mother could not go out of the house for 3 months when the first rules about wearing burqas were made. Then my father said she would have to wear it, or go stir crazy up in the house. Of course, her heart was not in it. He could not see the point of wearing scarves and burqas to cover up our hearts if they were black. I remember walking with Moda, trying to hold her hand through the cotton of the burqa, and so I wouldn't lose her in the street of burqas. I could smell her, not her pretty perfume, but her sweat as she turned her head from side to side to find her way. Putting Moda in a burqa was like capturing a snow leopard from the mountains and shutting it in a cage. And just like a caged snow leopard, Moda's heart grew tired. Grandfather spoke about hearts a lot, about washing them and keeping them clean. When I was little, I thought he was a magician to be able to take his heart out and clean it. But now I know what he meant. He told stories too, and I'm not sure why the stories are so important. They repeated themselves a lot. Perhaps it is so we did not forget. What do you think? Interested in learning more about Soraya? Well, for my main today, I have quite a different book. Now this one is called The Sidekicks, and it's brought to us by Penguin and Will Kostakis. I can't speak today. He is a fantastic writer. This one is a great male narrative. It's great to see some male voices in text, and this one explores the life of a gang of boys, 3 boys who are joined together from their friend Isaac. So the 3 boys are quite different. We've got Ryan, Harley and Miles, and one's a swimmer, one's a rebel and one's a bit of a nerd. And the book is set out in the actual voice of those particular characters. So we've got the swimmer, and then we hear his story, and the rebel, and of course the last one is the nerd. So these guys are all pretty different guys, and each story is their story about their relationship with Isaac. Now Isaac brings out something in each of them. So it's that exploration of who you are as a person, which we can all relate to. A really fascinating read. Poor Isaac has a terrible accident and dies, and we hear about the impact of that grief on all of those 3 characters and how he had been the glue to their friendship, and they were all a bit set adrift when he's gone. But through their own reflections on their relationships with him and who they are as individual people, they find a way to connect to each other, and it's a fascinating read. I did actually fall most in love with Ryan, who is exploring his sexuality and coming out gay. So it's great to see a gay character. Of course, he thinks it's terrible to be gay in the beginning, and it's nice to see that he comes more to terms with that through the book. Let's have a look at this bit. I wish I could call Isaac. Words would bounce between us, and even if nothing really changed afterwards, I'd feel better. Now my words have nowhere to go. I think of him and see the coffin, and I hear his mum saying he didn't live long enough. I don't know how long you have. You don't know how long you have. Do what makes you happy. That's her words from the funeral. I can tell Mum I'm going to Miles for help with modern. Say I'm staying the night. It's too late to match Todd's costume, but I still have the junior uniform, so I was supposed to donate to the school clothing pool. That'll do. His boyfriend Todd's gone off to a gay pride event. I think it's Mardi Gras. Yeah. Live, love and be remarkable. That's Isaac's mum's words. I launch off the floor and slide my cupboard open, and uniform hangs in the corner. Light grey shirt, darker shorts. I toss them on and check myself in the mirrored door. I look like a school kid. I pull my shirt over my shoulders, grab my scissors and cut it 3 buttons shorter. I try it on again. The lower half of my 8-pack and swimmer's V are exposed. Now that's a pride costume. I exhale. It looks gay. I think it's a bad thing. But gay is my hand slipping into Todd's lap in the movie theatre. Gay is kicking our feet over the edge. I like gay. I am gay. I force myself to think it again. It looks gay. It still feels like an insult. I try again. I look gay. Again. I like being gay. I like being gay. I repeat out loud. I smile at my reflection. That's just a little bit from Ryan, who's the swimmer. Sidekicks, the Sidekicks. And the last one for dessert today, we've got Kindred 12 Queer Love Oz YA Stories. Oh, what a title. It's a collection of stories from Australian authors. Some of the ones you will know and the other ones you won't know. This is a fantastic collection of short stories. It is so diverse. There's pretty much something in here for everyone. And if you want to see a few different authors' writing styles, this is a perfect place to be. You can actually learn more about this book through the hashtag LoveOzYA. So if you're on Insta, this is a really good hashtag to follow because there's lots of fantastic information about local youth fiction. And also there's a hashtag for this book, which is hashtag Kindred Stories, which you can follow and learn more about this particular text. It's been really well reviewed. It's quite recently out, so it's pretty hot off the press. There's lots of interesting stories in here. Some of the top ones, I won't be able to read you all of them, but just for a taste. There's Jen Wild. She's written a story in here about a girl called Audrey who's autistic, and she's got a really toxic friendship with a girl called Vanessa. And so it's a story exploration of that friendship and exploring yourself and toxic people in your lives. So I'd recommend that one, and that one's been well reviewed. There's also a fantastic story in here by Jackie Brown, which is really recommended. And this one, that's really recommended because the character in there is actually a disabled character, so it's great to see that representation too. This one as well by Claire Coleman has had really great reviews. Sweet. And because of the language and also the fact that it's set in a futuristic society where there is no gender. Gender is an old-fashioned concept and agender is the new norm. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's really nicely presented with each little story having its own little start, and you can really get to know a few different author styles and see lots of different people being represented in Kindred 12 Queer Love Oz YA Stories. I recommend you have a look at this one. So for today's book taster, we've got this one, the Sidekicks, and Soraya the Storyteller. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're interested in any of these books, you can place them on hold and pick them up from our library, as we'll be opening on our full normal hours from next week, and we'd love to see you back in the library. Come back and study and read and chill and come and talk books with me. I'd love to hear what you're reading at the moment. All right, bye for now. See you guys.